Hi everyone, Mr. Campbellhouse here. In today's video, I'm going to review Starlink Pause and show you what it is and isn't useful for. Let me first start by explaining what Starlink Pause is actually intended to be used for. Firstly, it's for people who are in an area that only has a limited allotment of users. It lets you keep your place in line if you wish to pause or cancel your subscription. The second thing is that it allows you to restart your subscription in somewhere where you may not have data. You actually do need a data connection to resume your Starlink connection. So if you had canceled your connection and were somewhere where you did not have access to data via Starlink Cellular or some other method, you would actually be unable to activate your Starlink connection or use your Starlink dish to connect to the internet. The first test I'm going to do with the Starlink Pause is to see how useful it is for controlling home automation when your primary internet goes out. So I've got my wife's iPhone. I've got it connected to our Apple Home app. It is running on cellular only, no Wi-Fi, and we're going to go ahead and see if the home automation control is possible, and if so, how much latency there is. So we can see it is working, and honestly, the latency is not bad. So you can see here we can turn on some other things. Everything's working fine. So this test is a pass. For this next test, I have my network video recorder hooked up to the Starlink, and I'm trying to view it from my cell phone's cellular connection. It did load the previews, but when I tried to load the live view, it just did not load. Occasionally it would update, but this wasn't useful for any real-time viewing. I think you could use this to get a general idea of what's going on at your property, but you would not be able to view any real-time live events. In this day and age, there's almost always something utilizing your network bandwidth. Security cameras store backups and live stream to your devices. Phones and computers back up their camera rolls and perform updates. Speakers and TVs stream media. And one of the worst offenders I've seen is Tesla's full self-driving uploading trading data. As a result, my home frequently maxes out the Starlink Pause 500 kilobit per second, even when we aren't actually doing anything. For my next test, I'm going to connect a single device to the Starlink Pause connection and see if it's useful for web browsing or looking at video. As you can see, YouTube does load, albeit very slowly. I'm going to paste the link to one of my videos into the browser once the YouTube page loads and load it to see what happens. It does load, albeit very slowly, and the ad causes some stuttering as the page loads. In automatic, the video often starts at 144p. After it buffers for a while, it'll typically hit 360 or 480p, and while that's not very impressive by modern standards, it's plenty enough for you to see to follow a tutorial or a guide. During testing, I was playing with Starlink and I used it to play some videos in the background while I played video games on my computer. And honestly, I didn't really notice much of an impact to my viewing ability because I typically just play it for the sound, and I could see well enough when I wanted to look at the screen to enjoy the content. Overall, I find Starlink Pause to be too slow to serve as a solution to replace your primary internet connection during an outage. It is, however, useful to maintain control of your smart home and some security functions such as locks and alarms. The biggest benefit is that you are just minutes away from high-speed internet via one of the roam or residential tiers that can be used on a month-by-month basis if needed. Even better is that you can remotely activate a higher speed tier remotely if you have a prolonged outage when you are off-site and want to be able to access your cameras, file servers, etc. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below and I'll try to get back to you. This has been Mr. Campbellhouse. Thanks for watching.